A pleasant day, everyone. My name is Minda A. Franzo, one of the reporter of Chapter 23 of Jose Rizal's life, titled Martyrdom at Bagumbayan. So this chapter focuses on the final moments of our national hero before his execution on December 30, 1896 at Bagumbayan, which is now known as Luneta.
Farewell, dear fatherland, climb of the sun cursed, pearl of the Orient seas, O hidden lost, gladly now I go to give this fatal life's best, and were it brighter, fresher, or more blessed, still would I give it thee, nor count the cost. Okay, so this is the first stanza of Ultimo Adios, the last poem of Rizal that speaks about his description of his fatherland. He used the biblical Eden to describe pre-Hispanic Philippines, which is an imaginary time of purity and innocence. After being court-martialed, Rizal returned to his cell in Fort Santiago to prepare his rendezvous with destiny. During his last 24 hours on Earth, from 6 a.m. of December 29 to 6 a.m. of December 30, 1896, he was busy meeting visitors, which includes his family and friends. He was also able to write his last poem, his final contribution for the emancipation of the Filipino people.
His military trial began on December 26, 1896, which he was accused of rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy. So, despite of the insufficient evidence directly linking him to the Philippine Revolution, he found guilty and sentenced to death by the Spanish military court. So, noong December 28, 1896, nilagdaan ni Gobernador General Camilo Polavieja ang kanyang death sentence. Okay, so by 6 a.m., Captain Rafael Dominguez read Rizal's death sentence that he will be shot at the back by firing squad at 7 a.m. on December 30, 1896. So itong si Captain Rafael Dominguez ay isang military Spanish officer who assigned to oversee the execution of Rizal.
By 7 a.m., Rizal was moved to the prison chapel where he spent his last moments. His first visitors were Father Miguel Sadara Mata and Father Luis Viza, Jesuit teachers.
Okay, so si Father Miguel Sadara Mata and Father Luis Viza are both Spanish friars during the colonial period in the Philippines. So itong si Father Miguel Sadara Mata is a rector of the Ateneo de Municipal nung nag-aaral pa lamang si Rizal doon. And then si Father Luis Viza naman ay nagsilbing espiritual na tagapayo ni Jose Rizal nung mga huling araw niya bago siya patayin.
By 7:15 a.m., Rizal reminded Father Luis Viza of the image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus which he made during his Ateneo days.
Okay, by 7:15 a.m., Rizal reminded Father Luis Viza of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So yung Sacred Heart of Jesus ay ginawa ni Rizal nung siya ay 14 years old pa lang mga taga-aral sa Ateneo de Municipal. And it is made of wood block. So ito ay sumasalamin sa kanyang pananampalatayang Katoliko noong mga panahong iyon.
By 8 a.m., Rizal had a breakfast with Father Antonio Rizal. After breakfast, his attorney Lieutenant Luis Sabel de Andrade came.
So at 8 a.m., Rizal had a breakfast with Father Antonio Rizal. So itong si Father Antonio Rizal ay isang Spanish priest who tried to persuade Rizal to return to Catholic faith. Then after that, dumating naman ang kanyang attorney na si Lieutenant Luis Taviel de Andrade. Si Lieutenant Luis Taviel de Andrade ay isang Spanish military officer who served as a defense counsel ni Rizal during his trial.
At 9 a.m., Father Federico Fara arrived. Rizal reminded the priest of his earlier prophecy about Rizal.
So, nung 9 a.m., ang sumunod na bisita ni Rizal ay si Father Federico Faura, isang Jesuit priest and scientist in the Philippines during Spanish colonial period. So, he was one of the person who predict Rizal eventual martyrdom because after reading Noling de Tangere, Faura is said to have told to Rizal that he would get him in trouble with the Spanish authorities, that eventually leading him to his execution.
At 10 a.m., Father Jose Villaclara and Vicente Balaguer visited him. After then, he was interviewed by Santiago Mataix for the newspaper El Heraldo de Madrid.
So, nung 10 a.m., ang dumating naman na bisita ni Rizal ay si Father Jose Villaclara at si Father Vicente Balaguer. So, si Father Villaclara is a vice rector of the Ateneo de Municipal and known for his intelligence and strict discipline during Rizal days at Ateneo. And then si Father Vicente Balaguer naman is a tutor of Rizal. So, binisita nila si Rizal for spiritual support. Nagbigay sila ng mga dasal and sacraments. And si Father Balaguer, binigyan niya ng pagkakataon si Rizal na maipahayag ang kanyang mga huling saloobin at mensahe bago siya mamatay. So after them, ang dumating naman ay si Santiago Mataix para interviewin si Rizal. So he was a journalist, Spanish journalist known for his notable writings about the Philippines and the Spanish colonial administration. So in-interview niya si Rizal for the newspaper El Heraldo de Madrid. Ito ay isang Spanish newspaper known for its coverage about the political, social, and cultural perspective of Spain and its colonies, which includes the Philippines.
So from 12 noon to 3:30 p.m., Rizal was left alone in his cell. He took his lunch and continued writing his farewell poem, Ultimo Adios, which he hid in an alcohol cooking stove. He also wrote his last letter to Professor Blumentritt.
So, nung 12 noon, umalis na si Villa Clara at si Balaguer. So, naiwan si Rizal kasama ang kanyang mga gwardya. Then, after that, he took lunch. So, after niyang kumain, when his guard are not strictly watching him, doon niya isinulat yung Ultimo Adios.
At 3:30 p.m., Father Vicente Balaguer returned to Fort Santiago and discussed with Rizal the retraction of the Antichrist and his writings and membership in Masonry.
At 3:30 p.m., bumalik si Vicente Balaguer para talakayin kay Rizal ang retraction letter. So this retraction letter allegedly contains his renunciation of his writings against the Catholic Church.
At 4:30 p.m., his mother Teodora Alonso and his sister Trinidad visited him, so they had a very emotional encounter. Rizal gave the alcohol cooking stove to Trinidad, which contains his farewell poem, Ultimo Adios. So afterwards, Father Villaclara and Estanislao March arrived. They were followed by Father Rizal.
Noong 4:30 p.m., ang dumating ay ang nanay ni Rizal. So lumuhod siya dito at humingi ng kapatawaran. Then after her mother, dumating naman ang kanyang kapatid na si Trinidad. So may binigay siyang alcohol cooking stove kay Trinidad, which is yung alcohol cooking stove na yon ay binigay kay Rizal ni Paspardo de Tavera. Then ang sabi niya kay Trinidad, there is something in it, and it turns na yung something na yun na sinasabi ni Rizal is a piece of paper wherein doon nakasulat ang Ultimo Adios. So, after nila, ang dumating naman ay si Estanislao March together with Father Antonio Rizal. So, si Estanislao March ay kaibigan ni Rizal na isang doktor. And then, pinag-usapan nila ang mga ideya ukol sa reforma na nais ni Rizal.
At 6 p.m., Don Silvano Lopez, the Dean of the Manila Cathedral, visited him.
By 6 p.m., dumating naman si Don Silvino Lopez Tonyon, the Dean of the Manila Cathedral, which is a friend of Rizal.
At 8 p.m., Fiscal Gaspar Castaño of the Royal Audiencia de Manila visited him.
8 p.m., ang dumating naman ay si Fiscal Gaspar Castaño of the Royal Audiencia.
By 10 p.m., the draft of the retraction letter sent by the anti-Filipino Archbishop Bernardo Nazalada was given by Father Balaguer to Rizal for his signature, but he rejected it. Another draft showed which was prepared by Father Pio P., the superior of the Jesuit mission in the Philippines, so Rizal liked it but wanted certain changes made.
So by 10 p.m., the draft of the retraction letter by Archbishop Bernardo Nazalada arrived. So hindi yun nagustuhan ni Rizal because it is too long. Instead, another draft is showed by Father Balaguer na nanggaling kay Father Pio P., the superior of Jesuit Mission of the Philippines. And yun yung nagustuhan ni Rizal but he wants certain changes.
So by 11:30 p.m., Rizal signed the retraction letter in which he absorbed Masonry. So after signing the retraction, Rizal confessed to Father Villaclara and rested.
So by 11:30 p.m., Rizal signed the retraction letter which he absorbed Masonry. So it was witnessed by Juan del Freno, Chief of the Guard Detail, and Eloy More, the adjutant of the plaza. So after signing the retraction letter, he confessed to Father Villaclara and rested.
At 1:30 a.m., Rizal rose up to pray and confessed again. He read the acts of faith, hope, and charity from the Spanish prayer book entitled Aceptación de la Muerte. Then he confessed to Father Villaclara for the third time, after which he read Thomas A. Kempis' Imitación de Cristo.
So by the next morning, Rizal rose up at 1:30 a.m., prayed, and confessed again. So he knelt after the altar, holding a rosary in his hands and wearing a blue scapular of Immaculate Virgin. So after that, he read the acts of faith, hope, and charity from the Spanish prayer book Aceptación de la Muerte, and he signed the page 49 at the end of the act of charity. So after that, he confessed again to Father Villaclara after he read Thomas A. Kempis' Imitación de Cristo.
At 3:30 a.m., Rizal heard the Mass, so he confessed his sins for the fourth time and took Holy Communion.
At 3:30 a.m., Balaguer read Mass and then Rizal confessed for the fourth time and he took Holy Communion. So itong Holy Communion ay isang sakramento sa pananampalatayang Katoliko na nagsisilbing alaala sa huling hapunan ni Kristo. So dito, ang mga mananampalataya ay binibigyan ng alak at tinapay na sumisimbolo sa katawan at dugo ni Kristo.
At 5 a.m., Rizal had his last breakfast. So after the breakfast, he autographed some religious pictures and books as last souvenirs to his mother and his sisters Josefa and Trinidad. So after that, Joseph and Bracken arrived and they got married with Rizal. So Father Balaguer married them. Then Rizal gave his wife a wedding gift, the religious book of Imitación de Cristo, which he autographed to my dear and unhappy wife Josephine, December 30, 1896. Jose Rizal.
5 a.m., Rizal had his last breakfast. So after the breakfast, he signed some religious books and pictures that serve as his last souvenirs to his mother and his sisters, Josefa and Trinidad. So after noon, dumating si Josephine Bracken at ang kapatid ni Rizal na si Narcisa. Then as Rizal requested to Father Balaguer, kinasal silang dalawa. And then binigay ni Rizal sa kanyang asawang Imitación de Cristo, wherein may nakasulat doon at to my dear and unhappy wife, Josephine, December 30, 1896, Jose Rizal.
So by 6 a.m., as the soldiers were getting ready for the death march to Bagumbayan, Rizal wrote his last letter to his beloved parents.
Rizal had his last letter that was addressed for his parents, and it was written on 6 a.m. December 30, 1896. So in his letter, he felt sorry for the pain that he repays for their sacrifices, especially for his education. So aside from that, there's another letter that was both dated on December 29, 1896. The one was addressed for his friend Blumentritt, and the other is addressed for his brother Pasiano. His letter to Blumentritt was a heartfelt farewell, so he expressed his gratitude for their friendship and his willingness to die for his country. So he sees that his death was a necessary sacrifice for the freedom and the future of the Philippines. His letter to Pasiano was written on the eve before his execution. So in the letter, he expressed love and gratitude for all the sacrifices and supports throughout their lives. And he asked Pasiano to forgive him if he had caused any difficulties and advised him to take care of their parents and the rest of the family.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. I am Brian Zafra, and here's my assigned topic. We have stated before that Rizal wrote and signed a retraction at 11:30 p.m. December 29, 1896. Its full of text is as follows: I declared that I am Catholic, and in this region in which I was born and educated, I wish to live and die. I retract with all my heart anything in my words, writings, publication, and conduct that has been contrary to my character as a child of the Church. I believe and profess what it teaches. I submit to what it demands. I abominate Masonry as an enemy of the Church and as a society prohibited by it. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is, ang pag-urong ni Rizal, sinabi at isinulat at nilagdaan ni Rizal ang kanyang pag-urong noong 11:30 ng gabi ng Disyembre 29, 1896. Sa kanyang liham, ipinahayag niya ang kanyang pagbabalik sa pananampalatayang Katoliko kung saan siya lumaki at nais niyang mamatay bilang isang mananampalataya. Buong puso niyang binawi ang anumang sinulat o ginawa niya na maaaring salamungat sa kanyang pagiging isang anak ng simbahan. Pinahayag niya din niya ang kanyang paniniwala sa mga turo ng simbahan at ang kanyang pagtalima sa mga utos nito. Dagdag pa rito, tinanggihan niya ang Masonerya, ituturing itong kaaway ng simbahan at ipagbabawal ng relihiyon.
The diocesan prelate, as the superior ecclesiastical authority, may make this manifestation public. I declare this spontaneously in order to repair any scandal which may have caused, and so that God and man may pardon me. Manila, December 29. So in 1896, the diocesan prelate ay isang bilang pinuno ng simbahan ay may karapatang gawing pampubliko ang pahayag na ito. Kusang loob ko itong ginagawa upang maitama ang anumang iskandalong maaaring idinulot ng aking mga nagawa. At humihingi ako ng kapatawaran mula sa Diyos at sa aking kapwa-tao. Manila, Disyembre 29, 1896.
Juan del Fresno, Chief of the Guard Detail Eloy Maure, Adjutant of the Plaza. It must be understood that what Rizal retracted were his errors in religion and attack against the church, not his political conviction. The church, in truth, is concerned only with the spiritual welfare of man. Every Catholic is free to choose his political philosophy. He may be a monarchist, a Democrat, a nationalist, an internationalist, a liberal, or a conservative. So, sila yung mga saksi doon sa pag-urong ni Rizal. So, ang explanation naman nun is malagang maunawaan na ang binawi ni Rizal ay ang kanyang mga pagkakamali sa reliyon, mga pagkabatikos sa simbahan, hindi ang kanyang mga paniniwala sa politika. Ang simbahan ay nagmamalasakit lamang sa espiritual na kalagayan ng tao. Bilang Katoliko, malaya ang sino man na piliin ang kanyang paninindigan sa politika, maging siya ay isang monarkista, demokrata, nasyonalista, internasyonalista, liberal o konserbatibo. Death March to Bagumbayan, about 6:30 a.m. December 30, 1896. The Death March was about to begin. At Fort Santiago, a trumpet sounded. That advance guard of four soldiers with drawn bayonets moved a few meters behind Rizal, walked calmly with his defender, Lieutenant Tavil de Adrade, on one side, and two priests marched, and Villa Clara on the other. More guards marched behind him. Sabi nito, ang marsya ng kamatayan patungong Bagumbayan noong bandang alas 6:30 ng umaga ng Disyembre 30, 1896. Nagsimula ang mga marsas ng kamatayan sa Fort Santiago. Tumunog ang trompeta bilang paghanda ng pagsisimula. Ang mga nangungunang sundalo na may hawak na bayoneta ay nagsisimulang maglakad ilang metro sa likuran nila. May nahong naglalakad si Rizal kasama ang kanyang tagapagtanggol na si Lieutenant Tavil de Adrade sa isang gilid at dalawang pari na sina March at Villa Clara sa kanilang gilid. Kasunod ni Rizal ang iba pang mga bantay habang nagmamarcha sila patungo sa Bagumbayan. Rizal was dressed elegantly in black with black suits, black necktie, black hat, black shoes, and white vest. His hands were tied behind from elbow to elbow, but the rope was quite loose to give his arms freedom of movements. From his right arm dangled a small black rosary. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is si Rizal ay nakasuot ng itim. Like, itim na itim yung mga damit niya, like itim na necktie, sombrero, at sapatos, habang ang kanyang puting vest ay yun lang yung nagkakaiba. So, ang kanyang mga kamay nakatali sa likod, ngunit hindi naman mahigpit ang lubid. Kaya may konting galaw pa siya mula sa kanyang kanang braso. Nakabitin ang isang maliit na itim na rosaryo sa kanyang kamay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is a poem titled Martyrdom at Bagumbayan by Jose Rizal, a Filipino nationalism, and the writer of express his final thoughts and the wishes of the faces inclusion. The poem explores them of sacrifice, patriotism. I hope you his the homeland future. Rizal speaks of the desire saves of country at his willingness to die of the freedom. He asks for the prayer for those who have suffering under Spanish rule, of hopes for the country's eventual redemption. The poem the filled by sense of this peace and the resignation, yet of the also with the strong beliefs that eventual triumph of the his of ideal. The poem is the powerful and the moving expression of Rizal love for the country and the unwavering commitment for the freedom. Ito ay isang tula na pinamagatang martyrdom sa bagumbayan ni Jose Rizal, isang Pilipinong nasyonalista na nanunulat sa ipinapahayag nito ay mga kanyang mga hiling sa loobin ng kahilingan ng habang kaharap na siya sa pagbitay. Tinaklay ng tula ng mga tema ng sakripisyo, pagmamahal sa bayan ng pag-asa ng kinabukasan ng mga kanyang bayan. Pinag-uusapan ni Rizal ang kanyang pagnanais sa paglingkod sa kanyang bayan na kanyang kahakdaang mamatay para sa kalayaan nito. Humingi siya ng panalangin para sa mga nagdusa sa ilalim ng pananakop ng Espanya at umasa para sa paghuling pagtubos ng kanyang bayan. Ang tula ay puno ng katahimikan at pagpanggap, ngunit mayroong ding malakas na paniniwala panghuling tagumpay sa kanyang mga ideal. This is a section from Jose Rizal poem Last Farewell, well he bids of the farewell to his the homeland, love ones of friends, patriotism, sacrifice, and acceptance. Rizal expressed the love of the Philippines and his of her for the future. He bids farewell to his family and friends, acknowledging the pain of the expanding death for the finding solace in the beliefs of the dead. This is the rest of the tone, bittersweet field of the and sadness, but also reasons of the peace of acceptance his faith. The expert showcases Rizal deep love for the country and the willingness of sacrifice himself for its freedom. Its highlight to enduring power of the words of this enduring legacy as a Filipino hero. Ang bahaging ito ay mula sa tulang huling pag-aalam ni Rizal, nagpapahayag ng kanyang pamamaalam sa kanyang bayan na mahal sa buhay ng kaibigan, pagmamahal sa bayan, sakripisyo at pagpapanggap. Ibinabahagi ni Rizal ang mga kanyang pagmamahal sa Pilipinas at mga kanyang pag-asa sa kanyang kinabukasan. Ito ay namamaalam siya sa kanyang pamilya at kaibigan. Kinikilala ang kanyang mga nalalapit na kamatayan, ngunit nakahanap ang kaaliwan mga paniniwalang kamatayan na kapahingaan. Ang tono ay mapait, puno ng pagmamahal sa kalungkutan, ngunit mayroon ding kapayapaan at pagpanggap sa kanyang kapalaran. Pinapakita ng siping ito ay na malalim na pagmamahal ni Rizal sa kanyang bayan o kanyang kahakdang isakripisyo ang kanyang sarili para sa kalayaan nito. Binigyan din nito nagdagal na pangyayari sa kanyang mga salita at ang kanyang nagtatagal na pamana bilang isang bayaning Pilipino. Binaril si Rizal ng 7:03 ng umaga. Ang mga nanonood sa Espanyol ay nagdiriwang sa kanyang kamatayan, tumutulog sa pambansang awit ng Espanya at pagsisigawan ng ang tula ni Rizal na pinamagataang Ultimo Adios, huling paalam ni isinulat sa bilangguan bago ang kanyang pagbitay. Inilarawan ito bilang isang karapatan dapat huling awit ng isang dakilang kaluluwa na nagpapahayag sa kanyang pagmamahal at kanyang tinubuang lupa at mga kanyang kahandagang isakripisyo ang kanyang buhay para sa kalayaan nito. Binigyan diin ang bahaging ito ay mga tema ng pagmamahal sa bayan, sakripisyo at pakikibaka para sa kalayaan. Ang mga kamatayan ni Rizal ay ipinakita bilang isang malungkot na pangyayari, ngunit bilang isang simbolo ng paglaban-laban sa pananakop ng Espanya. Ang bahaging ito ay naglalarawan ng isang tao na namatay para sa kanyang mga naniniwala at kanyang pagpamana ay patuloy na pagbibigay ng Jose Rizal, a Filipino nationalist, and writing the passage described the event leading up to the Rizal execution, including the final moments. The execution of place of Bagumbayan Field, a grassy lawn by the shore of Manila Bay. Rizal is the main of character, and the passage mentioned is the lawyer friend Eduardo Gutierrez Pedipe, prize of the Spanish captain. Rizal walked comply the execution site bids farewell for the friends and shot by the firing squad. Rizal requested to be shot of facing the firing squad, but the ways of denied. We was shot in the back but managed to turn his body to the fight before falling off the group. The passage highlight the depths of courage of sacrifice and the struggle for freedom. The passage of writing in the descriptive of the emotional style combine the solemnity and the tragedy of event. Ang teksto ay nagkukwento tungkol sa pagbitay kay Jose Rizal sa Bagumbayan ng Field. Ang pagbitay ay naganap sa Bagumbayan Field, isang damuhan na malapit sa baybayin ng Manila Bay. Ang pangunahing tauhan ay si Rizal na ibinanggit din sa kanyang pagbigang abogado na si Eduardo Gutierrez, verified sa isang pare at isang kapitan ng mga Espanyol. Naglakad si Rizal patungo sa lugar na pagbitay ng maminahon na nagpapaalam sa kanyang mga kaibigan na binaril sa isang firing squad. Nais ni Rizal na harapin ang firing squad, ngunit hindi ito pinayagan. Binaril siya sa likod, ngunit nagawa niyang ibaling ang kanyang katawan pakanan bago siya bumagsak sa lupa. Ipinakita ng teksto ang mga tema ng karapatan, sakripisyo at pagkikibaka para sa kalayaman. Ang teksto ay nakasulat sa isang masinig, emosyonal at paraan ng pagpapakita ng kaibigan at kalungkutan ng pangyayari. This past, Rizal was executed at 7:30 a.m. The Spanish spectators celebrated his death, playing the Spanish national anthem of cheering. Rizal poem titled Ultimo Adios, Last Farewell was writing of prison before his execution. It is the describe of his worthless one song of greatest soul, expressing his love for his homeland and his willingness of sacrifice. His the life of the freedom. The passage highlight themes of patriotism, sacrifice, and the struggle for freedom. Rizal death of portrayed of the tragic event, but also the symbols of the resistance against Spanish. Ang bahaging ito ay mula sa talambuhay ni Rizal ay nagkukwento tungkol sa kanyang hiling, sandali at reaksyon ng mga manonood Espanyol sa kanyang pagbitay. Binibigyan din ito sa kanyang tula na huling paraan bilang ng isang patunay na kanyang pagmamahal sa kanyang bayan. Ito ay kanyang sakripisyo para sa kalayaan nito.